I want to talk about a young lady who's making the pivot into tech sales. And she made the pivot from being an entrepreneur, So let me see if I can bring this one up. I think this is going to be a good one. And share tab audio. Lovely, 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 lovely. So this is coming from Miss Ashley. I found her on YouTube as well too, and I thought this would be a good opportunity for us to hear her story. Looks like a well done video. I haven't really watched it yet, but one of my editors was like, Antoine, this should be a video that you should watch and really share this with the audience. Okay, so this is where we are right now. She made the pivot, guys, into tech sales, and we're going to hear her story right now, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, I'll give some commentary throughout the video as well too.
I'm owning my own freaking business through tech sales. Y'all sick of me yet? I started my business. I was doing photography for companies like this. I fully stepped into it like full time after I had my son. Part of it was that I made the decision. The other part of it was that I had no choice.
All right, let me stop it there. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear it. So she made a pivot into tech sales from being a photographer. She was an entrepreneur. She must have had a photographer or a photography business where she would go and do this for companies, make pictures and, take pictures and so forth. And she made the choice.
I had got laid off
because she got laid off and she had a baby. So she needed to make some additional money. And let's hear the rest of it.
A job I was doing that was hybrid. You haven't liked the video yet? You go ahead and smash that like button for me. I had to become a jack of all trades and learn a lot of things in a short amount of time because I had a short window to start making some freaking money. Right. I just found myself in this place of being very, very exhausted. Those grueling weeks of not seeing a paycheck. Finally, after 2 weeks of not seeing money coming in, and maybe that third week, there's like the light that finally happens. So somebody wanted to sign a contract or work with. That felt good, but it was a very hot, cold thing. And it was more taxing on my mental health than anything, especially being a new mom. I've seen
All right. So let's unpack that. She got into the entrepreneurship world because she got laid off from a previous job, right? And she said, you know what? I have to make a way for me and my baby. She's a new mom, right? She's starting a business. Oh my God, that must have been brutal. Absolutely brutal. People, starting a business is difficult, guys. And you're not expected to make money for quite some time. She said she made money within the third week. That's good for her. She was hustling. She was grinding. She must have had some sort of contacts or something like that in order for her to be able to do that. But being a new mom and doing that itself, oh gosh, no sleep. I mean, just from owning a business, the things that go through your head, your mind never shuts off because there's always, something that you feel like you should be doing. And when you are just going out on your own to do photography, although you don't necessarily need to have a business plan or anything like that, right? But you still need to have a method to your madness, right? And you have to understand who your clients are going to be. And you have to understand where you're going to get your next paycheck because you need to pay for baby formula or whatever it is. And I don't know if she's married or not, or what her husband does, or if she has a husband or if she has a boyfriend. But there's a lot that goes into starting a business is the ultimate point that I'm making. And doing that while being a mom to a newborn, absolutely brutal. But she said she got a client within 3 weeks. And not only did she say she had a client, one of the things that she said also is that there's so many ways to an entrepreneurship journey, right? So you can get a client, your first client, they're probably going to pay you less than what you probably deserve because you didn't set their prices the right way because it's all new to you. And it's almost like you want to give people a trial before they purchase the full thing. That's just something that we do as humans. It's something as we do as entrepreneurs. When we start a business, we want to have some sort of validation from people that our services are really good. And we typically discount the cost of our services or the prices of our services to give people, that opportunity to experience the valuable product that you put out there to the market. So for instance, if your hourly prices to be a photographer, is about $600 per hour. Well, when you are an entrepreneur and you're new to it, you probably only be charging somebody $200 an hour just so that they can get the value and you can see if it's something that people are going to love and so forth. So you're not really selling yourself the right way, right? And that's another thing that really hurts you in the long run, because you need the money in order for you to support yourself and your family.
Stories where moms are killing it. That made me feel inadequate. Like, do I suck? Can I not do it? I've been studying, like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with my work? I started heavily critiquing myself, feeling imperfect. And then that played out in all of the parts of my life, right? Feeling like that, at least. I knew that something had to change. And I knew that this couldn't be it. I was just randomly on YouTube and I saw something about this guy in tech, and he made like $300,000 a year. I already shouted this video out, but it's the Anthony O'Neill show, and it's with Cyrus. That story hit me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you can make money like that in tech?
Yes, you can. You can make money like that in tech. You can make money like that in tech. I have a good brother of mine. His name is Chris. He may be in the chat as well, too. Patreon member of ours. Just broke into tech sales. He went from a support engineer to tech sales. And he had his first training session this week. And he got into the world of tech sales because of the influence of Big Brother Antoine and the Black Heights community, but also, you know, me sharing my personal story with him as well. And me also showing the receipts that you can make, you know, 300 plus within tech sales. I think I've even shown it to you all at one point in time. I had to go and, you know, mute those videos because, you know, it's not the right thing to be doing. But you can make that sort of money within tech sales, guys. And you can make more than that. $300,000 is what I would say most middle, I would say junior sales executives are making these days, about $300,000 a year. That's the number around. I was in the 300s my first year of tech sales, and previously I was probably at the early 200s, right? But my first year in tech sales, I was well over $300,000. My second year in tech sales, I was in the high 300s. My third year tech sales, I was in the 400s. My fifth year tech sales, I did over $500,000 that year. My seventh year tech sales, I'm like, shit, that's what I'm in right now, and you know, we're over $500,000 a year, guys. This is what you can do in tech sales. Now, I must say this: I'm not like the enterprise salesperson anymore. I'm a leader of enterprise salespeople and organizations, right? So, but I got to this position by being in tech sales, right? By being really good at what I do. That gave me the visibility that I can take on other assignments, and also give me the ability to be visible to leaders in the company that I work for. And ultimately they said, all right, Antoine, this is, you know, your growth, and we want to allow for you to, you know, manage other parts of the business. And that comes with high salaries, guys. That's basically what it comes down to. So, you know, the video with Cyrus and Anthony O'Neill that's out there, really, really, really great video, by the way. Talks about, you know, tech sales and how you can make a whole bunch of money into it. And seeing guys like Damien, seeing guys like Christian, who just broke into tech sales, and he talked to one of the account managers and golfed with them last week. You got guys on this team making $1.8 million. You got guys on this team coming home with, you know, $500,000 commission checks. That's the money that you can make in tech sales, guys. That's the money that you can make in tech sales. And she found a video online that basically said that you can do that. So she sounds like she wanted to listen, and she was intrigued by it. Let's continue on.
I've heard about it because my aunt is in tech and she makes good money. She's been trying to convert the whole family. She's like, you need to get into it. There's money there. I'm like, cool, but I want to start my own business, right? Because I held that on such a high pedestal. I finally decided to make that move and pivot into tech. After watching that Anthony O'Neill video, I dropped the gem of course careers. I step into it. I do my research. So I take the course careers course. I passed. I got my certificate. And now I'm here. Here are like the main reasons why I decided to go that route. It was a lot of time and little reward initially with my business. You have to have the mental capacity to go through that and to push through it. I'm a new mom and it just didn't work for me. Two, I did not have enough capital to scale my business.
I love that she said that, guys. She didn't have capital to scale her business. Many of you guys, I'm going to tell you like this. You want to start your own business. You want to be your own entrepreneur. Everybody talks about it. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a boss. I'm a boss man. I'm a boss chick. I'm a boss, whatever. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. I'm just going to tell you like this. We know you're lying. We know how you're lying. by the way you live. We know you're lying by what you look like. We know you're lying by a lot of things that people can just see based on what comes out of your mouth and your behaviors and so forth. Being an entrepreneur is difficult, guys. And the majority of the people who have success in entrepreneurship are the ones who have the money to invest themselves, because that money isn't going to come from anybody else. So if you have the money to invest in your own little projects or your side hustles, you're going to have the ability to more than likely have the success, because then you can actually scale it. Early on, you don't have that money. You don't have that money at all. It's not coming from anywhere at all. Where is it coming from? When you don't have a job, or you don't have a job that's paying you a good amount of money so that you can actually put that into your business on the side. Most people can't do that because they can't even, take $1,000, right, and put that into a savings account. That's why people lose homes. That's why people, get cars repossessed, because if something happens in their life, they don't have that cash reserve, right? So it's better, in my opinion, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you should gain some high earning skills where they're going to pay you a shitload of money. While you're gaining and earning that money, set that money off to the side and use those skills to start your own business and invest that money that you've earned over here into over here and see this grow. When you see this grow, you can eventually say, okay, well, I don't want to do this anymore. Or, you can make the choice, right, to do however you want to do it. But this is how your business is actually going to grow, when you are able to gain the skills in a industry or a role or a career or a job where they're going to pay you a significant amount of money, and you can leverage that money to go and invest in this other area without having to ask somebody for it, without having to get it from somebody else and so forth, right? And that's why I would encourage you guys, if you want to make a bunch of money within your career, consider that of tech sales and do the exact same thing that she's did and have to figure out on her own, right? Entrepreneurship is difficult. It's very difficult. And being a new mom is difficult. And I would hope that people would understand that having a partner and having people in your life that support you are very important, especially being a mom and being a father. You need that support system, because that shit ain't easy at all. And if you want to make a whole bunch of money in your career, you're going to need the support system around you. You can't just have, say you're going to do things flying by the seat of your pants, starting a business, having a new baby and thinking that's going to work for you. It doesn't work that way, guys. It doesn't work that way.
That part really sucked. I was sending up to 60 emails a day, but that wasn't all I was doing. I was doing so much more. So I just couldn't keep up with the workload and be successful in it. And if I had the money, I would have paid somebody to do that part for me. Third, I was exhausted. I needed a team. I needed people to have my back and to do the things that maybe I wasn't good at. Maybe I hired experts to do what I couldn't do so that my business could scale even faster. One of the reasons I decided to actually step into tech was because the more time that you spend specifically with tech sales, the more reward you receive. Tech sales is a performance paid career. How good you perform, that ultimately equals more pay. And it's
That's right. That's right. The better your performance, the more you're going to get paid. So the guy that Christian works with that makes 1.8 million, he's probably been in that role for a long time. And he's probably been crushing it for a long time. He probably got this one world-class deal and he sold it and he was able to crush it. My biggest payday was a lot of money because I sold a world-class deal and I got paid off of it. And the more you perform, the more you're going to get paid. If you crush your number and, double that, your incentives are going to go up and up and up and up, allowing for you to make a lot more money.
It's guaranteed because you also have a base salary. So I'm like, wow, I get every 2 weeks, I know a check is coming in. On top of that, I get to earn commission based on how hard I work. I really enjoy learning how to sell for my business. I learned so much from that and how to build relationships from that. And so knowing that I can actually have a job that specifically focuses on that, and I don't have to be a jack of all trades to do it, that sounds like it's for me. Another thing is that it was just the best fit for me and my family. I was spending too much time and not getting enough money. And that meant that I had to have extra side hustles. So because I was a photographer, I was stepping into lifestyle photography, portraits, and all of those things, just trying to make an extra buck. My Saturdays and Sundays were starting to be taken up, which means more time away from my family. I had to make moves that best fit the family. I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. And
all right, we're gonna stop her there, guys. A tremendous transformation here, a tremendous story of a new mom who broke into tech sales, right? And you know, in some aspects of it, she was sold a dream that she can do it all, and we all understand that that's not the case, right? So, you know, she realized that wasn't the case. And she saw that she can make up to $300,000 a year in a specific career, such as tech sales. She went and did course careers, sign up for course careers. For you guys looking to make that transition as well, too, for $450 using the Antoine discount code, you can break into tech sales and have a career transformation like this young lady just had. And, you know, basically allowing her to get her time back, because being an entrepreneur, a photographer, she said it herself. It ate more of her time. She needed to make more money for her family. When you're spending more time in work than you are with your family, your balance is off. Your balance is off. And which therefore means that your family life is going to suffer. And this should be the most important part of you as an individual. Your family should be the most important part, because this is who you're doing it for. So yes, you can work a lot, but you also need to make sure that you're spending that time, and that balance, you know, gets up here or it gets back to the middle, right? And there's, again, very few times there's going to be here in the middle. It's either going to be like this or it's going to be like this, depending on the extra season that you're in, right? But the goal here is to make sure that there's a balance that's there. And when you're spending too much time on work, right, your family life is going to suffer. That means your kids are going to suffer. Right, you're going to have all kind of people raising your kids. That's not you. All kind of people influencing your kids. That's not you. Your parents, the parents of the kids that you hang out with, are going to be influencing them, right? And therefore, you're going to be like, oh man, like, why are they picking up these terrible behaviors? Why are they doing these things? Because they're not damn raising your kids. You got somebody else raising your kids, guys. So the goal here is to, what she basically did is say, okay, well, I have this imbalance going on. I need to find a career that's going to allow for me to have a little bit more balance, right? And she said, I'm going to drop all of these extra things, this photography and things that are taking up my weekend from me spending time with my son and my family and so forth, right? Sounds like she may be married, which is a good thing. A fantastic thing, because marriage is absolutely wonderful. And, you know, it allowed for her to balance that out, right? To really balance her life out, which allows for her, I'm assuming, to have a better relationships with her families or her friends, and also to perform better in her career, right? So guys, go and check out Miss Ashley Brooks. Fantastic video, fantastic content creator that is talking about tech sales and her transformation. And guys, just do it. Just do it. That's all I have for you guys today. I want you guys to go and have a good rest of your Saturday. I'm going to spend some time with the family.